Hi guys, so welcome back again to my channel, Lynn Preferred. My name is Linda. If you're new here, you're highly welcome. So today I'm going to share with you step by step on how I made my shirt crop top. It is super cute. Okay, so if this is what you're interested in learning how to make, grab yourself a popcorn, sit aside and enjoy watching this tutorial. It is very simple. So let's get started. I folded my fabric into two like this, and I'm going to rule a straight line here, which is going to serve as my starting point and also my shoulder line. After that, I'm going to mark 1 inch at the end there, which is the close part of the fabric. So this 1 inch I'm marking out here is going to be my button flap. So I'm going to rule a straight line there. Okay, so after that, I'm going to be taking my shoulder measurement. I'm going to mark my shoulder measurement starting from the button flap. So I divided my shoulder measurement by 2 and I added extra 3.5 inches to it. So from there I'm going to go down by 3 inches. Then I'm going to connect with a straight line. So after that I'm going to mark a straight line starting from that 3 inches point to that very end like this to create my shoulder slope. Okay, I'm going to measure what I have here, then I'm going to be taking the same measurement down there. Just like that. Just go down a little bit and mark the same measurement like this, and I'm going to connect with a straight line. I'm going to be marking my armhole measurement on this line. Okay, so my armhole measurement is 8 inches, but because of the fact that the back is going to be coming down to meet with the front, I'm going to mark 7 inches there. Don't worry, as I explain further, you're going to understand this. So I'm going to mark a straight line like that. So I'm going to use my curve ruler to make a curve there to create my armhole. Now I'm going to be marking my shirt length. So I'm going to remove 1 inch from the actual measurement because of the come down for the back, and then I'm going to place it on that line. I'm going to measure my shirt length plus 1.5 inches for hemming. Okay, so I'll go ahead and mark out 21 inches there. After that, I'm going to mark a straight line there. Okay, so now the measurement I have here, I'm going to mark the same measurement there, just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to connect it with a straight line this way. Okay, just connect with a straight line like this. Okay, so I just hope these lines are clear enough for you to see. So now the next thing I'm going to be doing is to cut out this piece following the lines I marked out. So when I'm done, you remember the 1 inch I marked out for the button flap, so I folded it in like that. Okay, so I brought another fabric here, I folded it into two, then I'm going to be placing the front piece on it like this to cut the back. Okay, now I'm going to carefully arrange these two pieces together like this, and I'm going to cut out that part there because it is not needed. Okay, then when I'm done cutting it out, I'm going to bring down the front a bit like this. This is the front piece. I'm bringing it down a little bit. So when you bring it down, you make sure the space you have there is up to 3 inches. Okay, as you can see, I'm having 3 inches there. All right, so what I'm going to be doing next is to fold in about 1/2 inch on the back piece. Okay, I folded in about 1/2 inch on the back piece, and then I'm going to bring it down like this and then place it on the front piece like this. Just follow up what I'm doing. Okay, so I place it on the front piece. I'm going to quickly iron this down, just to make it lap very well before I take my neckline measurement. So now I'm going to be cutting this out following the front piece. I'll cut the bottom part, cut through the sides following the armhole, and then I'm going to cut out everything like this. Okay, so I'm going to quickly notch here in order to know where the shoulder line is going to start from. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to be doing is to mark my neck measurement. Okay, so on my front piece, I'm going to go down by 3 inches for my neck depth. Then for the neck width, I'm going to mark 2.5 inches like that, and I'm going to connect with a curve to form my round neckline for the front. Okay, so I'm going to be cutting out that piece out like this. Okay, just follow up what I'm doing. I'm going to cut it out like this. All right, when I'm done, I'm going to be bringing down the back again. I'll bring it down like this, place it on the shoulder line of the front this way. Okay, so I'm going to be making something like a semicircle curve like this. Just make a curve there, and then I'm going to cut this out. Okay, so just follow up what I'm doing. I'm going to quickly cut out that part because it is not needed. So when I'm done cutting it out, I'm going to open everything up to show you what I have. Okay, so this is what I have after cutting it out. So I'm going to be grabbing my back piece here. This is it. This is the back. I'm going to be placing the front on it this way. You make sure the right sides are facing each other. So don't worry about the fact that the front is shorter than the back. Okay, so I'm going to place the front on the back like this. You make sure the right sides are facing each other, and I'm going to sew on the shoulder line using 1/2 inch. Okay, so now I am done sewing the shoulder line. I also went ahead to overlock it. This is what I have here. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now is to carefully arrange everything together. Now just make everything equal like this. Make sure the hem line is equal. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is to notch that part we folded in for our bottom flap. Just notch that part. Okay, if you look at the back neckline, you will notice it is not looking nice. So what I'm going to do is just to trim out there a little bit. Okay, just trim out there a little bit, and then it's going to look perfect. Okay, I'm going to be putting this aside, and then we're going to be cutting the bottom flap. I'm going to be using this piece of fabric here to cut out another piece, which I'm going to be using to fold in the bottom flap area. Okay, so I'm going to separate the front from the back like this. Put the front piece together and separate it from the back. I'll place it on the new fabric I just brought now. Okay, so this is it. I'm going to be marking out that shoulder line this way. Okay, just trace out the shoulder line like this, and I'm going to cut through the bottom part. I'll cut through the side following the front piece. Okay, and then I'm going to cut through the neckline and then stop at the shoulder line this way. So just cut it out this way and stop at the shoulder line. Then I'm going to use my chalk to trace out that shoulder line to be sure. Okay, so this is where it is, and I'm going to remove my shirt. I'm going to trace it out like this and cut it. So this is what I have here. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to be doing is to be I'm going to take 2 inches down there. I'll take 2 inches there as well, and I'm going to be taking 3 inches up here like this. Okay, then I'm going to be connecting all these points together using a straight line. All right, so at that top there, I'm going to be marking 1 inch at the top there. I'll also blend it together with the line, and then I'm going to quickly cut out this piece. So I'll be using this piece to be folding the bottom flap area. Okay, so this is what I have after cutting it out. So I'm going to be folding this part. I'm going to hem this side. I'll fold it twice like this, and then go to my sewing machine and stitch. I'm going to fold the other side like this, and then I'm taking it to my sewing machine and stitch it down. So now I am done stitching it down. This is what I have. So now I'm going to be grabbing my shirt again, the front piece. Okay, this is the front side of my shirt. So I'm going to be placing the pieces we cut out now on it like this. Just follow up what I'm doing. I'm going to place it on it this way. Okay, and then I'll take it to my sewing machine and sew using about 1/2 inch. I'll do the same on the other side. I'll sew using about 1/2 inch. Okay, so now I am done sewing it. This is what it is looking like. as you can see. I also went ahead to top stitch, then I'm going to flip it inside the shirt, flip it to the wrong side of the shirt like that. All right, so that is where it is going to be. Okay, after that I'm going to be joining the front together like this. I'm going to bring the two front piece together and I'm going to mark 2 inches there, and then I'll make a notch there. Okay, just grab the two front piece together and then mark 2 inches and make a notch. Then I'm going to measure from this 2 inches point I marked here all the way down to the other side to meet with the other notch I just marked right now. Okay, after taking the measurements, I'm going to be having 16 inches. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut out the collar. So I'll be making use of this piece to cut out this collar. So I'm going to fold it into 2 and then fold it into 2 again, so it is in a fold of 4 now, right? Okay, so on that bottom part I'm going to divide that 16 inches by 2 and I will mark 8 inches there. Okay, then I'll connect a straight line there. All right, so from that center line I'll go up by 3.5 inches, then on the other line I'll go up by 2.5 inches. Then I'm going to make a line there. So then after that I'm going to be cutting this out. Okay, so this is what I have for the collar. I'm going to iron this piece here using hair stay. All right, so I've done that already. I'm going to fold it into 2 like this, and I'm going to stitch the sides using 1/2 inch. So now I'm done stitching the sides and turning it to the right side. This is what I have. So I'm going to get the center of my back piece here. I already notched the center of the back like this. So I'm also going to notch the center of the collar. Okay, I'll go ahead and notch the center of the collar, then I'll place it on the back piece. So I'm placing this on the right side of my fabric. Okay, so I'm going to place this starting from the back where I notched. I'm going to pin it down like this all the way to the end. Okay, I'm going to pin it down all the way to the end. So but before I get to that bottom flap, I'm going to flip it backward like this, flip it to the right side, and then use it to cover the collar. Just watch carefully what I am doing. I'm going to use it to cover the collar and then pin it down. Open it up like this and then use it and cover the collar before you pin it down. Okay, arrange it carefully, then pin it down like this. So just flip that piece backward and then use it to cover the collar. I'm going to pin it down till I get to the end of the button flap this way. Okay, so when I pin it down there, so you see that end there, that part, I'm going to make a notch there on the other part of the collar. Okay, I'm going to make a notch, just cut about 1/2 inch this way. Okay, then I'll move to the other side, cut about 1/2 inch there. So back to the other side, I'm going to continue to pin down. Okay, I'm going to continue to pin it down till I get to the end as well. I'll repeat the same thing I did on the other side. I'm going to pin it down like this. Just watch carefully what I'm doing. I'm pinning it down on the neckline of the shirt, right? So before I get to where the bottom flap is, I'm going to flip it backward, then use it to cover the collar like this. Okay, then I'll also go ahead and pin it down. I'm going to continue to pin it down until I get to the end of the bottom flap. Okay, so when I pin it down like this, so now this is the tip of the bottom flap. I'm going to pin it down also. So there, right there, I'm going to cut about 1/2 inch like this. So now I'm going to head over to my sewing machine. I'm going to stitch from that end. I'll flip up the other side of the collar and then continue to stitch until I get to the end. Okay, right now I am done stitching. This is what I have. We still have the other part of the collar still open, so we are going to be using it to fold in the other part we just stitched. Okay, just fold it in to cover up all the rough edges we have there this way. Okay, after folding it like this, and I'm going to head over to my sewing machine, I will make a straight stitch. It is that simple. It is very, 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 very simple. Okay guys, so now I am done pinning everything down. So I'm going to stitch from this end here. I'll stitch from there, I'll top stitch all the way from there to the other end this way. All right, so now I am done sewing it. This is what I have. Now the next thing is to cut the sleeve. So I'm going to be measuring around my armhole. Okay, I'll measure around the armhole of the shirt like this. So I'm going to take the round armhole measurement of the shirt this way. So I'm going to fold my fabric into two and then make a straight line there. Okay, so now what I'm going to be doing now is to go down by 3 inches over there. Okay, then I'm going to make a curve like this to meet with the other points there. So I'm going to divide that my armhole measurement by 2. I'm going to divide it by 2 and I'm going to mark it on that line plus extra half of an inch sewing allowance. So I'm going to add half of an inch sewing allowance there. Okay, so on the other side I'm going to go down by 5 inches like this, and I'm going to take my bicep measurements. I'll divide it by 2 and then I'm going to mark it on that line. I'll also add my half-inch stitching allowance. Okay, next I'm going to be taking my sleeve length. The sleeve length, I'll mark it there. I'll also add 2 inches for my hemming. All right, so the next thing I'm going to be doing is to make a straight line there and cut out that part because it is not needed. So now I'm going to be taking my round sleeve measurement. Just take your round sleeve measurement and mark it on that part there. Mark it at the bottom part and then also add your stitching allowance there, then make a straight line there. So basically this is how to cut the sleeve. Then I'm going to quickly cut out this piece. I'll cut it out. Just so you know, I cut out 2 pieces of it. Okay, so now I am going to be grabbing my shirt now to attach the sleeve. So this is the armhole of my shirt. Remember we notched it when we were cutting the pieces. Okay, remember that part we notched on the back. So I'm going to place the center of my sleeve there. I'll place it there like this. Okay, I'll pin it down, then take it to my sewing machine. I'm going to stitch all the way around it this way. Okay, I'll do the same on the other side. So now I am done stitching everything together. I overlocked it as well. So this is what I have. So I'm going to be putting everything together. I'll carefully arrange everything so we can stitch the sides. Okay, so when I'm done arranging everything together, I'm going to head over to my sewing machine. I'm going to stitch on the sides using half of an inch. I'll repeat the same thing on the other side. After stitching the sides, I'm going to go ahead and hem the bottom part. The next thing I'm going to be doing now is to make my buttonholes and attach my buttons. So and that will be all. So thank you guys for watching this video. I'm gonna see you in my next one. Bye.